This is Scarlett. She's a 7-year-old quarter horse mare. If you notice her feet, there's definitely a discrepancy in the feet. The front left is a bit bigger and it's a little lower angle, and the front right is a little bit smaller and a little more upright. Many quarter horses, it's common that they have a conformation fault of an offset knee and a slight fetlock varus. And if you take a look at this mare's feet, she definitely does have a little bit of an offset knee and a little bit of a fetlock varus. And feet change over time, and they respond to how the load is placed on them. So with her feet, she's got a little bit of the outside has had a little excessive wear, and then the inside is allowed to grow a little bit more freely. So it adds to the look of a pigeon-toed type horse. So first off, what we're gonna do, or we will just do a normal basic trim. You know, we'll just remove all the flares, make everything as flat as possible, see what we got to work with, and then from there we can come up with a shoeing plan. And typically when we see horses like this, fitting them with a little bit of a lateral extension to support that outside is usually what we plan to do and what we've seen some success. And as well, because the front right is a little bit upright, it's kind of damaged a bit of the toe. So we're going to just kind of put a long, slow rocker in there to get some hoof and shoe contact. So that will be our prescription for Scarlett. And we're not going to be able to fix any of this, but I think if we keep her maintained, add a little bit of a lateral extension and rock her the toe a little bit, will allow her to do her job and support her limb in the best way possible. It's not going to fix it, but it should allow her to interact with the ground a little more closer to normal, which is going to keep her a lot more comfortable and working for longer into her career. One of the best ways to just take a look at her conformation is just let the leg hang freely, and you can see, you know, where her radius comes down. She's got her carpus, and then you can see the cannon bone comes out a little offset to the lateral side. So that creates a little bit different loading and weighting. And then when we look down at her fetlock, you can see that now the fetlock or the cannon bone comes straight down, and then the digit from there out comes out on a bit of an angle. And that's what I'm talking about when we say a bit of an offset knee and then a bit of a fetlock varus. So that'll place uneven load, and often on these horses it places an uneven load where more weight bearing is on the lateral side, and you can see how steep and busted off the lateral is and how freely the medial has been able to grow. I'm just going to put a 3/4 fuller shoe on her, and what we're going to do is I'm going to just forge this up a little bit for the medial side, and we're going to make that a little bit narrower. So, and because that's where it's growing a lot, we want to slim that down, and what needs to take a bit more weight is the lateral side of the shoe. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump weld in some little bit of a 5/16 round stock, and I'm just going to jump weld this in. This is going to give me a little more surface area here on the lateral side, and that's going to allow this to fit a little fuller. We're going to have a web width disparity, and this blown out lateral side in soft footing should float a little more and help keep her foot a little bit more level in the footing. And when this side is narrowed up just a little bit, then this side is allowed to sink a little bit more, and that's going to be opposite of what her foot is kind of naturally doing now. So we're going to do this in an attempt to just keep her level. If she's level in the footing, she should be weighting her whole limb a little more directly on top of itself. So let's give that a try. So here's our shoes made up, and you can see we've just slendered the medial a little bit. We've got a little more beef to the lateral. Because this horse has been a little bit hard on its toe and it's a little upright, we've done a bit of a longer, slower rocker. We don't necessarily want an upright horse to have a encourage the toe to be short, but we do want some strong shoe-toe contact. Let's nail these up and see how Scarlett likes them. We've just fit the shoe out a little bit, and you can see how steep the wall was. So when you're looking at base of support, if we look out of the fetlock or out of the long axis, you know, we would like to have this an even amount of each side of center. So the shoe, hanging the shoe out just a little bit on that lateral side helps us to do that. Whereas we fit this one right to the wall. So now we're trying to get this triangle. We don't want our triangle looking like this, because then that's not going to be a very direct line of force up through the limb. So we're trying to, in attempt to get a nice even base of support out of the long axis.